Hey! So hello everyone and welcome to a new video. And in this video I'm not going to be doing like a comedy sketch, a rating or telling you something controversial about the Minecraft community. Instead, I'm going to explain the book Sula. Not because I want to, but definitely because I want to. So let us begin. So we have to consider a lot about these characters that we are going to analyze in this book. Especially the women, because they play a crucial role. Especially Sula, who's the fallen one. So you see, Sula is considered as the fallen one because of her, I should say, because of the way she acts, because of the way she defies society and goes against society. But then there is of course another contrasting character to Sula, which is Nell, who is not the fallen one. You see, Nell, however, makes for a perfect woman according to societal norms, because Nell has every quality a woman should have according to society. She is religious, wonderful, caring, child-rearing, mother of course, and she is the complete contrast to what Sula is. She does not sleep around, she is not as independent, but is she truly good then? Is she truly a good character? Because we see how the book shifts on her and how she also falls. But the strange part is that both of these are like friends. And I don't mean like, you know, normal friends who meet once a month or something. I mean besties, like me and Griselle. But you see, they function like a yin-yang. They function in a sort where Nell keeps Sula in check and she keeps her grounded, while Sula makes Nell's boring life even more enjoyable and more spontaneous, as they say. But this spontaneity in their life goes a little out of hand when the whole river incident happens. And by the river, I did not trip that time. So by the river, I mean the incident with Chicken Little. So the incident with Chicken Little is that basically small boy drowns in the river, two girls laugh at him, LL. But you see, that's not the end of the story, because the boy drowns and dies. And sadly, because of this death, they keep it secretive. They make sure nobody knows. They make sure that was intentional. But they make sure that absolutely nobody comes to know that they are responsible for Chicken Little's murder. And this was a very significant event that takes place in the book because it shapes them as who they are, as personalities, both Sula as well as Nell. But they two turn out to be very different women as they grow up. Nell, more nurturing, a motherhood of a figure, marries a good husband and has children. However, Sula goes out of the bottom and sleeps around. Her lifestyle completely changes, and when she does come back, the entire village is sort of in this moral delirium where they are confused, happy and sad. They are sad because they might lose their husbands, but they are happy that Sula is back. But this happiness turns into grave sadness when Sula sleeps with Nell's husband. It's a moment which is shocking for everyone, and it's a moral betrayal to Sula's friend Nell. It is a very confusing moment in the book, but as we see, this moment too shows how much Nell suffers as a character. So you see, between these two women characters, two very important symbols can be drawn. One of the nightshade and one of the blackberry. The blackberry being Nell, or even Sula at that point. Very nurturing, very nutritious and good for the health. But Sula as well was considered good for the society when she came back. Also, there is Nell. Nell, who is considered as the blackberry, can also be considered as the nightshade, poisonous, evil, cruel, maybe even dark. But this characteristics is often associated with Sula for her sort of like a prostitution racket that she had, where she slept around with men without having any emotional attachments. This was considered as the nightshade effect. But also Nell being the blackberry. But these two contrasting characters symbolize two contrasting symbols as well. The nightshade can be given for both, as well as the blackberry can be given for both. It is up to a reader's interpretation on how they interpret these characters. Is Sula really morally grey? Or is Nell morally right? Whatever happens, these two characters are always having their conflicts which make them who they are. But more importantly, an important event takes place after Sula's death. Yes, sadly Sula dies, spoiler alert. Okay, a lot of events take place. I'm not going to go all over the book because it's necessarily not important. But to analyze women characters, everything that I have said is necessarily important. But truly, to understand such characters, after Sula dies, Nell goes into a psychological feat where she starts crying and screaming we are confused by these characteristics of Nell. If she was such a valuable woman, if she was such a nurturing and societally accepting woman, then why did she suffer? Why did she start screaming? Why did she suffer? And Sula died a peaceful death. It's a very morally grey question that comes into binary thinking. What is right? What is wrong? How much of right is right? How much is wrong? And why do we think that one thing is morally good and the other thing is morally bad, when the morally bad thing can be the solution to our problems? It's a question where we have debated for years and years, centuries and centuries, but we have never found an answer to. This sort of binary thinking was proposed years ago by literary critics, and now we are still analyzing this through the book of Sula. So that is it about Sula. I know I could not explain a lot about it, but I did as much as I could. So thank you for watching. I'm Gordon Noel Perez, and I'll see you in the next video.
So thank you, Griselle.
Thank you, Griselle.